Under the new Volkswagen Golf Estate's bonnet resides a wide range of turbocharged engines in both TSI petrol and TDI diesel forms. There are no great surprises with the Volkswagen Golf Estate, which is partly why it's one of our favorite lowliners in the lower-medium family car segment. Essentially, it's a 7th-generation VW Golf with a bigger boot, so it's a better bet for families who require more carrying capacity and practicality than the regular medium-sized family hatchback can offer them. The finished result is one which shares a close family resemblance to the hatch, enjoying its high-quality, premium feel but with a less awkward rear-end design than its predecessors. It's a market segment with many players, so the Golf Estate finds itself up against mainstream alternatives such as the Ford Focus Estate, Renault Megane Sport Tourer, Peugeot 308 SW and Vauxhall Astra Sports Tourer, as well as in-house rivals in the shapes of the Seat Leon ST and Skoda Octavia Estate. Increased carrying capacity at 4,562 mm, the Volkswagen Golf Estate is 307 mm longer than its hatchback sibling, which is the primary reason that its boot space increases by 100 litres with the rear seats up. With a wide tailgate opening, an uncluttered low outby and a forward folding front passenger seat to accommodate long loads, the Golf Estate is an easy and practical car to live with, but it's not the most spacious in the segment. Instead, you're paying extra for the appointments rather than the accommodation, with the Golf Estate being generously equipped in SE and GT guises, although buyers who opt for the cheaper S-grade will forego many of the niceties and active safety features. Cost-effective to run under the new Volkswagen Golf Estate's bonnet resides a wide range of turbocharged engines in both TSI petrol and TDI diesel forms. Bookending the lineup are the 1.6-litre TDI with CO2 emissions as low as 103 grams/km for impressive degrees of fuel miserliness, and the high-performance Golf Estate R, capable of reaching 155 miles per hour and dashing from 0 to 62 miles per hour in just 4.8 seconds. Unlike its hatchback equivalent, there are no GTE plug-in hybrid or all-electric Golf Estate versions available for even more environmentally friendly motoring. High levels of equipment. Whichever variant of the Golf Estate you opt for, you will find an 8.0-inch color touchscreen in the center console, with incorporated sat-nav on higher specification models. Also standard across the range are roof rails, DAB radio, auxiliary connections including USB, Bluetooth connectivity, a trip computer and an electronic parking brake. Unsurprisingly, the latest Volkswagen Golf Estate is fitted with the same active safety equipment that the hatchback range enjoys. This means whichever trim level you choose, it will be fitted with an automatic post-crash braking system which ensures the car is brought to a halt if it didn't stop after the initial incident. Spend extra on a SE or GT grade Golf Estate and additional features. Volkswagen calls front assist and city emergency braking are also included in the package, both of which will automatically slow the car if it detects something in its path. These versions also benefit from adaptive cruise control. Facelift for 2017 available from spring 2017, the Golf Estate received a mild visual facelift, restricted to new lights, with more LEDs and bumpers. More important were the under-the-skin modifications, including a revised engine lineup, with a new pair of 1.5-litre TSI Evo engines in 130 horsepower and 150 horsepower outputs available later in 2017. The 110 horsepower 1.6-litre diesel also incrementally increases in power to 115 horsepower. The verdict: the Golf Estate builds on the hatchback's virtues with its wide range of engines, trim levels and premium feel cabin. There may be more entertaining alternatives to drive, but the Golf remains a benchmark that's difficult to overlook. Read the full Volkswagen Golf Estate review to see why we rate this premium feeling wagon so highly. Smooth, economical engines, no hybrid or electric options. Performance versions offer thrills depending upon your requirements. You can mix and match a variety of turbocharged petrol and diesel engines with both manual and DSG automatic gearboxes, with the greatest Volkswagen Golf Estate performance delivered by the R version. Both it and the GTD are your sportier choices with the Estate body. Unlike the hatchback, there is no GTI derivative. Neither is there a GTE plug-in hybrid nor all-electric version either. Petrol power is part of the 2017 facelift. The fuel-efficient 1.0-litre TSI Blue Motion and 1.2-litre TSI powerplants were dropped in favor of two revised versions of the 1.0-litre TSI. Entry-level Golf Estate see an 85 horsepower edition of this 3-cylinder engine, producing 175 Nm of torque. A 5-speed manual transmission is the only gearbox available here, and the quoted 0 to 62 miles per hour of 12.6 seconds may indicate how this entry-level engine may struggle with the estate's weight, especially when fully laden. Likely to be more popular is the 110 horsepower version of the same power plant, producing 200 Nm of torque from 2000 revolutions per minute. Available with a 6-speed manual or 7-speed DSG automatic gearbox, it appears quite sprightly on paper, with both versions posting a 122 miles per hour and a 10.4 second 0 to 62 miles per hour time. Joining the range in 2017 are two new 1.5-litre TSI Evo power plants in 130 horsepower and 150 horsepower forms. The former replaces the previous 125 horsepower 1.4-litre TSI, and the latter is limited to GT and R-Line models. Performance and torque figures for the 130 horsepower 1.5-litre are yet to be confirmed, but both are available with 6-speed manual or optional 7-speed DSG automatic gearbox. Regardless of gearbox, the 150 horsepower 1.5-litre produces 250 Nm of pulling power, achieves a top speed of 135 miles per hour and has a 0 to 62 miles per hour time of 8.7 seconds. Rapid Golf Estate R model sharing its 2.0-litre TSI engine and 4-motion 4-wheel drive system with the hatchback. The Golf Estate R packs a 310 horsepower punch, with 380 Nm of torque at 2000 revolutions per minute, delivering the accelerative force. Worry not that the only gearbox option is the 7-speed DSG automatic. This remains one very quick wagon. Top speed is electronically governed to 155 miles per hour, while it darts to 62 miles per hour from a standstill in 4.8 seconds. Diesel derivatives. Smallest of the diesel engines are a pair of 1.6-litre TDIs, in 90 horsepower and 115 horsepower forms. They deliver 230 Nm and 250 Nm of torque, respectively, both driving the front wheels via a 5-speed manual. A 7-speed DSG automatic is available on the punchier engine. While the lower-powered version has yet to have its performance figures announced, the gutsier derivative manages 124 miles per hour and requires 10.7 seconds for the 0 to 62 miles per hour sprint, irrespective of gearbox. The larger 2.0-litre TDI is also available in two outputs, 150 horsepower and, exclusively for the GTD and GTD Blue Line, 184 horsepower. 6-speed manuals and 7-speed DSG automatics are available with both versions. With 314 Nm of torque available, the less powerful version only requires a sprightly 8.9 seconds to undertake the 0 to 62 miles per hour dash, with the manual pressing on to a top speed of 135 miles per hour, 1 mile per hour more than the DSG-equipped version. For the GTD and GTD Blue Line, torques increased to 380 Nm, still from 1,750 revolutions per minute, which shaves a full second off the 0 to 62 miles per hour time for manual versions, dropping to 7.8 seconds on DSG-equipped models. Top speed is 144 miles per hour for both transmissions. Smooth shifting DSG automatic gearbox. The optional 7-speed DSG automatic gearbox changes gear seamlessly with very little jerkiness under most driving conditions. It can be sluggish to engage from standstill, however, leaving you floundering at roundabouts or junctions. Safe, predictable handling characteristics. Superb traction on Golf R. Especially effective adaptive suspension system like its hatchback counterpart. This generation Volkswagen Golf Estate has been on quite a diet, during which it's lost a considerable 105 kilograms compared with its predecessor. Additionally, it's slower and has a wider, more muscular stance. These factors pay dividends in terms of improving the handling, which feels barely different to the hatchback Golf. By keeping its weight closer to the ground, the Volkswagen Golf Estate is able to remain more stable through corners, having less of a tendency to roll as it sweeps through bends. This also helps when the overall weight of the car increases with a heavy payload in the boot. Turn the Golf Estate through corners on a twisty B road and it's a lightly rewarding, pleasant companion, but it's not a sports car wearing a huge backpack, at least in the lower echelons of the range. The electric power steering system offers little real feel of what the front wheels are doing, but by becoming heavier at higher speeds it compensates for it reasonably well. You can vary the weighting via the driver mode controls. Never do you feel detached from the driving experience, and corners can be tackled quickly due to the Volkswagen's high levels of traction, amplified by the standard fit XDS electronic differential metering power to the front wheels. Choose the optional adaptive chassis control system to switch between normal, comfort and sport suspension modes via the dashboard touchscreen. Driver and passengers will notice a difference between the settings, mainly by the ride quality changing. Thankfully, selecting comfort doesn't make the Golf wallow through bends, nor does sport have you searching the floor mats for any lost fillings. High-performance Golf Estate R with its 4-motion 4-wheel drive package and an upgraded XDS Plus electronic differential, the latter shared with the GTD, for even sharper cornering. The Golf Estate R is as impressive as its hatchback counterpart. Traction is rarely found wanting, as the system detects when wheels are beginning to spin and diverts power to the remaining ones within fractions of a second. You can cover ground very quickly, but, although it's not as fast, the Ford Focus ST Estate is likely to put a bigger smile on your face thanks to its layeriness being cranked up. The Golf R is its more demure foil. Classy cabin is typically Volkswagen. Everything feels like it's built to last. Switchgear is deliciously tactile as with the hatchback. The whole Volkswagen Golf Estate dashboard is angled towards the drive more than any previous generation, much in the same way many BMW interiors do. Quality of materials used is very high, with squidgy, soft-touch plastics across the upper surfaces and resilient, firmer components lower down. It appears to be impeccably constructed too, with no squeaks or rattles appearing regardless of how poor the road surface. Interior revisions introduced at the 2017 facelift include an improved multimedia system ranging from an 8.0-inch touchscreen to a 9.2-inch option for higher-spec models. The Active Info Display instrumentation, VW's version of Virtual Cockpit as found in Audis, with customizable graphics, is also available, replacing the traditional analog dials with a 12.3-inch screen. If any minor criticism could be laid at Volkswagen Store, it would be that the interior is a little unimaginative, looking similar in style to virtually every other VW's dashboard. Various cubbies and storage areas are provided, all of which are sensibly sized for real-life belongings and detritus we're inclined to transport around with us, keeping everything tidily hidden away. 3 are located in the center console, the one immediately behind the gear lever concealing a pair of cup holders, while the door pockets and glove box are spacious enough for drinks bottles. Switchgear feels great to use and is well armed, the large touch screen with menu buttons at its sides being particularly effective. That said, the rotary volume control for the stereo is replaced by a small set of touch buttons when the largest 9.2-inch screen is fitted. It makes a simple process frustratingly fiddly, meaning it's best to use those fitted on the steering wheel instead. The multifunction display between the two main instruments takes a little bit of learning when using the steering wheel buttons, but it soon becomes intuitive. Supportive seats even on non-sporty models. Adaptive damping a worthwhile feature. Impressive levels of quietness in the cabin. It's not an exaggeration to suggest that several supposed luxury cars cannot rival the suppleness and refinement demonstrated by this car. With the Volkswagen Golf Estate, comfort is a priority, most noticeably in the way in which it absorbs bumps in the road more effectively than its key rivals. Seats on the non-performance models are supportive, with modest levels of side bolstering. They keep you firmly in place without feeling like you're being squeezed. Even the thicker side cushions on the GTD and R don't feel as though they're pinching your hips. The optional Vienna leather seating on certain models are firm enough to be supportive for longer journeys but are an expensive option, equating to 10% of the list price for some versions, despite coming with heated functionality and lumbar adjustment. Whether occupying the front or rear seats, adults over 6 feet tall will find plenty of space for their limbs while headroom is generous too. The optional glass roof also makes the cabin feel airier, but makes for a slightly noisier cabin. Outer rear seat passengers additionally benefit from sculpted sections in the bench, although the flatter center section doesn't feel particularly compromised. Opt for the adaptive chassis control package, which allows different drive modes to be chosen, varying the ride quality between normal, comfort and sport. Comfort makes for a more relaxed driving experience, cosseting the passengers with a very smooth ride quality that doesn't affect handling negatively. Switch to sport and the handling's responses are sharpened, consequently firming the ride quality too. It doesn't become uncomfortable, and on the majority of road surfaces, sport feels no harsher than the standard setup on some rivals. Unsurprisingly, normal is midway between the two and acts as the default setting. 7 trim levels in total from S to R via GTD DAB radio, Bluetooth and aircon standard on all fewer option packs than on the Golf hatchback. There's a diverse range of trim levels for the Golf Estate, which slightly confusingly don't run wholly in parallel with those of its hatchback counterpart. Standard Volkswagen Golf Estate equipment starting point in the Golf Estate hierarchy is S grade, which comes with a reasonable amount of standard equipment, so it's hardly poverty spec. Body-colored handles, mirror caps and bumpers are present and correct, with contrasting black roof rails, but the wheels are 15-inch steel items, furnished with full-width trims. LED day running lights and partial LED tail lamps were introduced in the 2017 facelift. Once aboard, you'll appreciate the electric windows all-round, aircon and the multimedia system's 8.0-inch touchscreen, complete with DAB radio, Bluetooth connectivity and the efficient driving promoting Think Blue Trainer. Good value in the middle of the range is the say. Using S as its base, Match Edition adds 16-inch Toronto alloy wheels, washers for the automatic headlights, rain-sensing wipers, parking sensors front and rear, electrically folding door mirrors and adaptive cruise control. Once inside, you'll appreciate the leather-wrapped multifunction steering wheel, lumbar adjustment for the front seats and a rear armrest. New to the range from 2017 is SAE navigation, which, unsurprisingly, is based on the SAE trim but adds the Discover navigation system and CarNet internet access via a 9.2-inch touchscreen. There's a sporty-com luxury vibe with the GT. Exterior embellishments compared with the SAE navigation include 17-inch Dijon alloys, chrome trims around the front bumper and grille, silver roof rails, LED front fog lamps with cornering function and rear privacy glass. Plushness is ramped up inside with art velours seat upholstery, more chrome trimmings and soft glow ambient lighting. First of the sporty Golf Estates is the GTD. It mirrors the hatchback's black and silver signature trim as well as the 18-inch Seville alloys. In addition to keyless entry and start, there are full LED headlamps, LED taillights, active info display, virtual instruments, dual zone climate control and plaid upholstery. Differing only slightly is the GTD Blue line introduced in 2017. It rides on 17-inch Curitiba alloys for improved fuel economy and lower CO2 emissions. Crowning the Golf Estate range is the R, both in terms of speed and specification. The 18-inch alloy wheels are upgraded to the Cadiz design and the suspension's 15 mm lower. There's an R-specific body kit and exterior detailing, including a rear diffuser in the bumper with 4 oval exhaust pipes protruding from it. Optional Volkswagen Golf Estate extras. As packed with equipment as the Golf Estate is, you may want to personalize it further with extra cost options. Fancy racier rims? Sure, with various designs to choose from in 15 to 19 inches depending upon the trim level. A wide range of optional solid, metallic, pearlescent and signature paint finishes are available, complemented by the full leather interior. No Golf Estate has it as standard. Electrically adjustable front seats can also be ordered. You can upspec your GTD or R model with even darker rear privacy glass, while lower-end models can have a bi-xenon headlamp upgrade. Practicality is bolstered with the forward-folding front passenger seat and keyless entry, while comfort's further heightened with dual-zone climate control, a panoramic glass roof and adaptive suspension. Conventional analog instruments can be replaced by the configurable active info display. Multimedia system upgrades include the Discover navigation versions, along with additional functionality for Android Auto, Apple CarPlay and MirrorLink. Additionally, there's a variety of option bundles, but they're not all available with every trim level, so check with the VW retailer which combinations are possible. Convenience pack comprises of an automatically dimming rear view mirror, and automatic lights and wipers. Mirror pack, electrically folding door mirrors with puddle lights built into them. Winter pack, heated front seats, headlamp washers and heated windscreen washer jets, high levels of standard safety kit. But plenty more remains optional. 5-star Euro NCAP crash test rating. Safety of all Volkswagen Golf Estate models is bolstered by all models being fitted with 7 airbags, including one for the driver's knees. Additionally, ABS, electronic stability systems, and 5 3-point seatbelts with ISOFIX mountings on the outer 2 rear seats are complemented by an XDS electronic differential for more secure handling. Further safety features include monitors for lane departure and driver alertness, which are carried over from the hatchback. SAE and GT specifications go even further with autonomous emergency braking, which detects the proximity to other road users and brakes for the driver to try and avoid collisions, and adaptive cruise control to monitor the distance to the vehicle in front, keeping a safe distance behind. Although the Estate version hasn't specifically been tested by independent safety experts Euro NCAP, the Golf hatchback achieved a 5-star rating, so this too should prove to be a safe VW in which to travel. Sensibly shaped boot space with flexible touches. Spacious, certainly, but not the biggest in class. Forward folding passenger seat. A fine option. Sensibly, with the Volkswagen Golf Estate, practicality was one of the designer's watchwords. Due to the longer body and increased wheelbase length over its predecessor, boot space has jumped by 100 litres to 605 litres with the rear seats up. Fold the 60-40 split bench over to create a near-flat low-out B of 1,620 litres, representing a 125-litre increase. If outright space is your priority, though, take a closer look at the Peugeot 308 SW and Skoda Octavia Estate, with 660 and 610-litre capacities, respectively. Adding to its functionality is a boot floor that can accept rectangular loads of 1,831 mm long and 1,003 mm wide. Opt for the forward-tipping front passenger seat, and overall load length for narrower items increases to 2,671 mm. All that space is of little use if it's difficult to access, but this isn't a problem the Golf Estate suffers from, with a wide 1,031 mm tailgate opening that can swallow 675 mm tall items. Neither will you need biceps like Desperate Dan to lift goods up to the loading lip, thanks to it being a conveniently low 635 mm from the ground. Neat touches abound with a retractable luggage cover which can be stowed under the boot floor when not required. The floor itself can be concertined up to create partitions in the luggage bay too. If you run out of space inside the Golf Estate, all models are fitted with roof rails, which are finished in silver on the GT, GTD and R versions.